Hello everybody, this is Michael Lee, back with more lumberjack fire safety work. Let's get it. So we're working on these two blown over valley oaks. Got the top one cleaned up. The top one unfortunately will be no good for firewood because it's rotten on the inside. Got these huge cavities running all the way through it. Let's go check it out actually, since I'm taking a minute to talk about it. All these green plants coming up. It's called soap plant or soap root. Has these bulbs with all these filaments running off of it. And it's a California native plant. It's very important. You can make brushes out of that bulb. And it also stupefies fish. You can actually fish with it. Okay. So heading up, you can see even way out at the branches, you can see this rotten on the inside and the cavity running throughout the entirety of the tree. See this? It's just no good for firewood. See that? It was just all rotten on the inside all the way out through the branches. There's another example. See that? It's like animal feces and stuff in there. So this is most definitely 100% for sure no good for firewood. So, and it's also got barbed wire all throughout the trunk. We got a hog wire fence here. This is Doug's property, everybody. Remember Doug's property? Good Lord, it used to be a sheep ranch. And it's just got metal everywhere. See the barbed wire? And there's the root ball. So this one was kind of on its last stages of life anyways. We had an epic winter in Northern California this year, and a big storm blew it over. So this we just leave here and Mother Nature can take care of it. So it'll be good habitat for the critters, wood rats, mice, western fence lizards, 5-line skink, Sierra alligator lizard, stuff like that. Black ants, red ants. Okay, now let's take a look at the next valley oak. These are big oaks. And you can see it's got the same issue with rot. If someone can help me out with identifying what exact parasitic fungus this is, that would be very helpful for me because I don't have a clue. See? So I'm not entirely convinced that a lot of this firewood's gonna be, or a lot of this oak is gonna be good for firewood as well. But so far so good. I think only the base of this one was rotten. You can see all the way down in there. Rotten and just huge cavity going all the way down in there. Here, I'll stick you guys down in there. You're gonna get attacked by a dwarf. Alright, so it looks like maybe the rot will go to about here, maybe, or here. You can see the bark's a little bit weird. God, that's weird. So, oh, it looks like it goes all the way up the bark. Well, this will be interesting to see how high up the tree that nastiness runs. But you can see I've already made huge progress on this, and when you're rendering a fallen tree like this, especially a multi-limbed deciduous like an oak, when you're doing the limbing and bucking, you really have to be careful to pay attention to your stabilizing points. There's one, and there's one. I already did all the trickier cuts, but if you are to cut one of your stabilizing branches, one of your contact points, the tree could roll on you. And you can see that's the downslope side on the other side. If you're standing downslope, it could roll right over you and you're a goner. Okay, so you got to be really careful when you're doing this. Stay on the upslope side when you're making your important cuts, and slow down and come up with a plan so that the tree does not roll on you. Now it's still somewhat connected to the stump, so we'll have some stability there, but we got to finish that one off, and then we'll do the last sketchy cuts right there. Okay, well, we need to talk about what we're going to do next. This is important. Okay, everybody, just bear with me here. We got to talk about what comes next, because this is critically important here. So stay safe, everybody, when you're doing this stuff. Now, you see how this limb here is just hanging out, and you may be thinking, well, Michael, just cut that one next. That's low-hanging fruit. Well, I don't want to cut that one next. First of all, it's downhill. And I just explained why cutting from the downhill side is not smart. And also, I believe that when I make this cut here, we'll no longer have that point of contact, that stabilization point, and I believe that the oak may roll down slope. This will prevent it from rolling further than just a 1.5 foot. See, because this branch here will catch it. I do not want this giant thing rolling down the hill. Now, we still have the connection to the stump, kind of. So the connection to the stump there, stabilizing point there, stabilizing point there. So we should be good to cut away that stabilizing point now.
Yeah!
Okay. Oh, that went better than I thought it would. Tree didn't even budge. I think we're good for the rest of the bucking. I believe this big old oak will just stay put. And I bet once I get down to there, it's going to even stay on the stump. So that turned out to be a lot easier than what I was anticipating, but it's always important to slow down and be safe and thoroughly research everything. Make a safe plan. Stay on the uphill side when you're doing your important cuts. Pay attention to the compression and the tension. And most importantly, don't run a ragged chain like I'm doing. Cut pretty good though for a ragged chain. All right, I'm gonna keep going here, but we should just let her rip from here on out, and just straight up bucking now. These valley oaks are endemic to California. They're not only valley oaks are not only native to California, they're endemic. California valley oak. Cool, huh? And these things get huge. 5-foot diameter, 6-foot diameter on the stump, 1,000 years old. It takes them a long time to get big though. Slow growing hardwood, although valley oaks are relatively fast growing as far as oaks go. They like to live near water too. They're always in the riparian forest. Ranchers that originally settled this area 300 years ago would look for valley oaks as a way to find water, and then they would drill their wells in the middle of the valley oak groves. So it was just kind of a simple way of finding water back in the day, because if there's no water, there's no valley oaks. What does grow if there's no water? It would be the manzanita, the blue oak, the toyon berry, the more hardy, drought-tolerant California native trees would take over in the more rocky and dry areas, while the valley oaks stay in the wet areas. So interesting how you can kind of see what the water's like just by looking at the types of trees that are growing. Okay, less talking, more doing. Man, we're gonna end up with like 2 cords of firewood from this one tree. Oh. Okay, that's it for this chain, everybody. But the tree did move a little bit. See the powder? Do you see the powder there? That means your chain's dull. When you start shooting out powder like that, stop cutting immediately. Sharpen your chain, put a new chain on. I'm gonna put that brand new square ground on now. That's gonna be sweet, and then I can rip through the rest of this. So let me just show you guys what it looks like when you try to cut with a dull chain. And then that way, when it happens, you know what's going on. All this powder just starts shooting out. And your chain doesn't really go through the wood anymore. What?